G'day there guys, Markee here, and welcome back to another episode of r/Am I the Asshole? Let's go. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my boyfriend for the haircut that he had given me? I, 21 female, am a university student. My boyfriend, 23 male, is studying cosmetology and works as a hairdresser. Recently, he insisted that he give me a haircut. My hair has been growing since the pandemic began and was at mid-back length when he made the offer. I was initially reluctant, as I had no plans on getting a haircut. He then offered to give me the cut at half the price offered by his salon. I thought it was a good offer, as summer was approaching quick, and the price was reasonable too, so I agreed to it. The next day, I went over to his apartment for the haircut. Before he began, I made it clear that I wanted a shoulder-length cut and nothing shorter than that. However, he started cutting my hair way shorter than shoulder length. I asked him to stop, but he continued, saying that he knew what he was doing. When he was done, my hair was in an uneven chin-length bob. I was furious, as I had specifically asked him for a shoulder-length cut. He offered to even the bob out, but I refused and stormed out. I went straight to the salon where a friend of mine worked and asked her to fix my hair, and she gave me a pixie. When I returned home, I was pretty devastated. Not only did I have my hair cut way shorter than I asked for, but I also ended up paying a lot more than expected, as fees to the salon. I switched on my phone only to see 2 unread messages sent by my boyfriend. He first apologized for the cut he had given me. He followed this up by asking me to pay for the cut. This struck my nerve, as I felt he did not deserve to get paid even a single cent for his horrible job. I texted him back, telling him that I will not be paying for the cut, and asked him to just leave me alone for the day. It has been a day since the cut, and my boyfriend hasn't messaged me since. I'm wondering if I might have been too harsh on my boyfriend. So Reddit, am I the asshole for not paying my boyfriend for the cut? Now in the comments, your hairstylist gave you a pixie to fix a chin-length cut. Yikes. Both your second hairdresser and your boyfriend are the assholes. You are not the asshole. Not the asshole, but to be honest, I can't say that he's an asshole or not. Internet people judge very quickly without further context. What your boyfriend did was shitty, but it sounds to me as something you should just talk about in private. Tell him that you really disliked how he treated you and ignored you, and that you know how you want your hair to look better than he does, and all that. If his reaction doesn't get any better, then think about the purpose of that relationship. But if he actually listens and you arrive at a mutual opinion, then just keep going. To me, it sounds like a very stupid mistake. As such, he should be able to realize it and change. If not, then maybe he's not yet fit for a healthy relationship. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend should be practicing on mannequins if he's that bad right now. Also, disregarding your wishes about shoulder-length cut after you graciously allowed him to cut the hair that you had zero intention on cutting to begin with. If anything, he should be compensating you in a way for ultimately ruining your hair and ignoring your wants. And now, onto the update. A lot of commenters on the original post told me to break up with my boyfriend. As I had mentioned in the comments of the post, I wanted to break up with my boyfriend too, but I just wasn't brave enough. However, after reading the comments, I finally mustered up the courage I needed. I talked to my friend, the stylist at the salon, about the situation, and she agreed that breaking up was the best thing to do. So I called my boyfriend up the next day and told him that I wanted to break up with him. To my pleasant shock, he was surprisingly calm and replied that he wasn't surprised with my decision. He said he understood and respects my decision, apologized one last time, and told me that he was glad that we could break things off in a peaceful manner. Ever since the breakup, I have been feeling a lot better. I no longer feel like I'm being controlled, and spending time by myself has been great. I have also been watching a few tutorials on styling short hair, and I found this great style which suits me well. All my hair just swept to one side on the top, with a bit of blue dye. I was considering buying wigs, but I've come to accept my short hair, and I love my new style a lot. As someone who has had hair past my shoulder my entire life, I would have never guessed that short hair suits me so well. To everyone who commented on my original post, thanks a lot. You guys are amazing, and if it wasn't for y'all, I would have never found the courage that I needed to break up. I love y'all. And now in the comments, Great update. Sounds like it really was for the best. For what it's worth, I'm also a girl, and when I see other ladies out with short hair and pixie cuts, I'm so envious because I don't have the courage or the face shape to pull it off. I bet it looks rad. And OP replies, "Oh my god, yes, that is exactly how I feel when I see cute hairstyles which I've never tried myself. But trust me, it is definitely worth a shot. I'm sure there's a short style which works for your face shape." Glad you dumped that creep. I missed your original post, so thank you for the link. I'm positive he's pulled controlling crap like this before, but it was for small things, so you didn't notice or say anything. The fact that he didn't text you and responded so nonchalantly when you broke up with him makes me wonder if he planned this, wanting you to be the bad guy and break up with him. If he treats future clients the way that he treated you, he won't go very far in his supposed career. I hope you don't mourn the end of this relationship too much. You definitely deserve better. My thoughts exactly. It seemed like he wanted out of the relationship but didn't have the nerve to break up himself. And now he can be the victim to his friends that OP broke up with him just over some hair. Oh, that is interesting. Makes me wonder if that's why he did it in the first place, to push you into dumping him. I've learned that a surprising number of people choose to act like horrible asshats in order to force their partner into ending the relationship so they don't have to do it themselves. It's honestly mind-boggling to me. Glad that you're out of it. Our next post is titled, "Am I the asshole for telling my husband to stop living in the past?" For context, I, 46 female, didn't know this until after we started dating, but my husband got bullied by the popular kids at his high school for years. It wasn't simple teasing but intense bullying, and it really affected him for years. He went to therapy but stopped after we got married. Anyways, my older two kids are on the quieter side and are very well behaved. My youngest, Jordan, 17 male, is a whole other story and always has been. He's very social and gets into more trouble than the other two. Nothing bad, thankfully, but it wasn't easy raising him. There was always a bit of a wall between Jordan and my husband communication-wise, and they do tend to struggle when connecting considering they have nothing in common, but they both make an effort, which is lovely. However, recently I've noticed that my husband complains about Jordan all the time, over everything. He's also always upset or angry with him over innocent things. I've noticed, based on all of this, that he sees his bullies in our son. He also straight up tells me this too, so I'm not pulling this out of my ass. While I sympathized with my husband at first and reassured him that Jordan isn't his bullies, I reached my limit yesterday. Jordan came home at 8:30 instead of 8, and my husband blew up at him and began interrogating him. I told him to stop considering it's winter break and it's normal for kids to get sidetracked when hanging out with friends. It's also only 30 minutes. But my husband told me to stop defending him as that'll only encourage Jordan to get into more trouble. I asked him to clarify what he meant by more trouble, considering the worst Jordan has done is skip class or drink a bit of alcohol, aka normal teenage things. And he said, what if he's out fighting other kids? And he wouldn't be surprised if he was. Jordan got mad at that comment and asked him why he always thought the worst. I was upset as well, so I told him to stop living in the past and that he needs to grow the F up. He went quiet and left the house after telling me that that was uncalled for because I know what he went through and that it isn't easy for him to think about. Like I said though, I sympathized with him until he started projecting his past onto our son. I said this to him as well, but he told me that he couldn't do this and left. My eldest said that I shouldn't have gone that low because it's a heavy topic, but Jordan and my other son are on my side. Jordan is especially relieved. My husband then texted me saying he's staying with his brother for a day or two, which I don't agree with either, as he's running away from the problem, but he told me that he didn't need my careless input anymore. So now I'm wondering if I'm the asshole in this situation. I don't think so, but I don't know for sure. Now in the comments, not the asshole. You don't get to bully your own kid because of the crap that happened in high school. Your husband needs to go back to therapy. Poor Jordan, always feeling like a disappointment and knowing everything he does gets criticized. He must be a strong young kiddo for not letting that bring him down. Not the asshole. It'd be one thing if Jordan were taking advantage of his popularity to bully other kids, but he's not. He is his own person, and your husband needs to get himself to therapy instead of taking out his lingering issues on someone who didn't cause them, especially when that someone is his own kid. Not the asshole, but your husband needs professional help to move past his deep-seated trauma. He doesn't have proof or a good reason to believe your youngest is a bully, so he is projecting based on Jordan's popularity and personality. I feel sorry for Jordan, but he is too young for alcohol. And OP says, don't worry. All I said was the worst thing Jordan has done is drink alcohol once or twice, and that hardly makes him a bad kid. He does not drink regularly, and if he did, I would not be this chill about it. And I suppose you're right about the professional help. I'll talk to my husband about it when he comes back home. Thank you for the comment. Your husband is bullying your son. He's picking on him and finding fault because he's taken a dislike to him. He's worse than his bullies were because they were kids without enough maturity and self-awareness to fully grasp the consequences of their actions, while he's a 40-something man who knows what it's like to be constantly got at for no good reason. I actually think that you're a little bit of an asshole because you've been letting this situation slide, and you definitely will be the asshole if you let your husband come back home and continue to treat your son this way. And here is the update. I wasn't sure if I was going to update, but a lot of you were concerned for my son, so I thought that I'd give you all some peace of mind. Besides, making that post helped me a lot. I ultimately decided to apologize to my husband, not for defending Jordan, but for bringing up his past in a very insensitive manner. I did tell him that we needed to have a serious conversation when he got home though. While my husband was away, I spent a lot of time with my kids, and we talked a lot about everything. I firstly apologized for not putting a stop to his behavior in the first place. I'm not blameless in this situation, and I foolishly believed that since my husband had me, that he wouldn't need to see a professional. I then asked them how they felt about their dad, and basically told them to talk to me about anything, and they ranted quite a bit, Jordan especially. I asked them how they wanted to proceed, and all three said they wanted to talk to Dad themselves. My husband came home on Christmas, and a lot happened. My husband didn't say much, while my older two talked, but I could tell that it was affecting him. Jordan was a bit scared, but I helped, and he said a lot. The thing that I think really struck my husband was when Jordan asked him why he hated him so much. After the kids went to their bedrooms, we had that serious conversation. I explained to him what a lot of you guys commented on. I mainly tried to get the fact that he was becoming the bully into his mind. I told him that while I sympathize with him, the projection and the paranoia was too much. We talked about therapy, and although he was hesitant, he agreed. He has a virtual appointment in early Jan. As of now, everything has been okay. Not perfect, but not bad. My husband isn't complaining, although I can tell some things still bother him. Jordan's not going out as much and is talking to the both of us, just not me now. We also went ice skating as a family a few times, which is Jordan's favorite activity. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday, and thank you for the comments. Now in the comments, OP, I'm really glad that y'all got to talk to him enough for him to hopefully realize that he's becoming your son's bully. I'm also glad that your kids got a chance to speak freely and that you made them feel heard. You seem like a great mom, and I'm sure your kids do and will appreciate that. I wish you all the best as you continue to heal together. The next part isn't to diminish any of the progress or the positive changes so far, I promise. I, however, am still concerned about your son. As you said, your husband's behavior has been going on for years, which means Jordan has basically grown up feeling hated and bullied by his dad for something he didn't do and wasn't his fault. Have you considered getting him his own therapist as well? It might be beneficial to get him help unpacking the hurt instead of letting the scars linger and psychologically impact him in the future. As I said, this isn't meant to pick on y'all or the progress you've made. It's just a suggestion from someone who experienced similar stuff as a teenager and thought that I was fine, only to realize I did have residual resentment and hurt that affected certain things in my adulthood. Also, info. Your husband is planning on going to therapy consistently, right? That one session wasn't the only one he plans to attend? this. Please also make sure Jordan gets the right help as well. Being bullied and talked down to by a parent your whole life is definitely going to leave a scar. Even if he looks okay now, one day he's going to show a lot of resentment towards both of you and your husband, and it would be best to get someone to talk about these feelings now while it's fresh. And please do make sure your husband continues therapy. To have these feelings towards your child, regardless of his personality and past, is really unhealthy, and is most likely not going to go away permanently without persistent help. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being introverted and quiet, but many parents would love to have a child like Jordan who is outgoing, has lots of friends, and goes out and enjoys activities. He should be proud of him, not resentful. Anyway guys, that is where I'm going to leave the episode today. As always, if you enjoyed, let me know what you thought of it down in the description below. Smack the like button so that we can get this video out to more people, helps us out in the algorithm, and I hope you have a good night, or morning to you guys in America, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.